Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope you all have practiced till now, and uh, you know, you are in same stage as of this, right? So we'll get started with some interesting topics today as well. So I'll come to this design pattern later, but before that, we have been developing some test cases, and this is the home page that we have generated, right? And this is the views landing page. So we have seen about two different ways how we can store the locators. Obviously, one among them is a string type, where you can have the liberty to change the XPath at the runtime, and then you can find different elements, right? So that's one of the cool way. This is more flexible and usable in terms of Selenium. But in case of Appium, right? So there is a one disadvantage of using this approach is that for Android, if you are using a framework for Android and iOS, then you might need to create two variables. Okay, you might need to create two different locators. Okay, let's say for let's assume this is for your Android. Okay, so maybe you can append with the underscore Android or something like that. Okay, a underscore drag and drop. So same way, you have to create one more for iOS. Okay, this is your iOS, and here you need to change different things. Okay, this may have different class name, all those stuff. Okay, but basically you need to create two different locating strategies, and then based upon that you need to operate them. So it is recommended to use at find by or your page factories with Appium framework. Okay, the same Amudan has mentioned. Okay, don't use this page factory in case of Selenium, because there is a chance that there is a lot of Ajax calls that can happen, that can bring in a lot of stale element reference exception. And most importantly, you don't have this Android iOS locators. All of those will be same, right? For Selenium, everything is same. Whether be it a Mac machine, or you're running it on Linux, or you're running it on, it doesn't change based upon your operating platform. But here it changes. So in those cases, we have understood, we can write at Android find by like this. You can also, suppose you want to extend this framework to an iOS, then you can add @IO, so control space. Okay, if you notice, there is a lot of options here. Use this iOS XU find by. Okay, here you can mention your locating strategy. So if you notice, it has a lot of locating strategy: iOS class chain, predicate, accessibility, and basically you can use accessibility. And then let's assume it has something like this. Okay, we don't have to worry too much about it, but you can wrap all these things in a mobile element. Okay, this is the only change that you have to do if you want to work with Android and iOS. So it will use these two locating strategy to find this particular web element, the mobile element. Okay, so this is a pretty good advantage, right? So you don't have to create two different locators or handle them differently. You just need to find views and then views.click. That's it. Whether if the thread is having an iOS instance, it will click on iOS. If it is having an Android, it will click on Android. So this is a pretty good advantage. Okay, Amudan, but you have mentioned, okay, with this, we don't have to create a lot of menu items, right? Previously, in this case, if we have to create a menu item, we have to create views, we have to create animation, all those stuff. Okay, all those stuff, maybe 12 elements in the page. Guys, please put yourself on mute. I see. Okay, so previously, we have to create for views, we have to create one animation. For other elements, we have to create a separate elements. Again, this is time consuming, right, Amodan? Yes. So to avoid that, we can also do other things, right? So let's try to do combine this particular locating strategy and this particular page method strategy. Okay, so let's try to do it. So let's assume I have let me take this views itself. Okay, so or maybe I'll take a different one. Let's take an example. Uh, so maybe I'll copy paste this. And then for here, I don't have to use any of these. Okay, let's assume. Okay, we are not bothered about this for now, but you know, this will give me list of mobile element. So this will give me basically list of mobile elements. So let's name it as a menu item. Okay. So all the, let me also open the Android emulator. So, or maybe you can go here. So if you notice all these menu bars here, right? All these menu bars are having a tag name of android.widget.textView. So I am just using a common XPath. So this particular XPath will return me a lot of elements. Okay. So that's why I'm storing this in list of mobile element. Okay. Good. So now I have to create a method that is more generic. So public, let's keep it as void for now. Click a menu item, and you pass the menu item here. Okay, menu. So now I have a list of web elements, right? So what I can do, menu items, maybe I can name it as menu items, which is more meaningful. Menu items and dot. So you have an option to use a parallel stream or stream. So basically I can use a parallel stream. It can process those elements faster, right? And now what I want to do, there are a lot of web elements. I want to filter out something. What I want to filter? I want to filter out the element that is having a text value, okay, that is maybe equals ignore case or contains I want to click on animation. So maybe whatever the menu you want to click, I'll check whether the text is equal to that or containing that, and then I will click on it. So to click on it again, you can use a find first dot get. Okay, or else you can also use or else get dot click. Okay, or you can also write like this, or you can also write if present. Okay, then web elements colon click. So this is a different way of writing things, right? So that's why I'm telling, please learn about Java 8, guys. You can do a lot of things. Again, if I can also write this using for loop. Okay, how can I write this? So for, so I have a list of menu items, right? So maybe a web elements. Okay, elements colon. I have menu items that I want to iterate with. Okay, then for each of them, I want to dot get text. Okay, and dot equals ignore case or contains whatever the menu that I'm passing from here. So if this is the case, then I want to click on the web elements, right? Elements dot click. Okay, we can also write like this. It's up to you, but this one we are using parallel stream, so this will be processed faster than this, right? So anything, whatever, if you're comfortable with using this, you can use that. If you're comfortable using this, you can use this, right? Good. So for now, I'll just keep it in the commented state so that you can also take a reference later. Okay, so now this code has become more clean, and we also have leveraged the page factory as well as the page method that can help us to handle all the elements at one go. You don't have to create multiple elements like this. Okay, this is another advantage. So let's try to check whether this is working. Okay, so let's keep this in commented state for now. And sorry guys, new home page dot click a menu item. I want to click on animation, so I give the text. That's it. Okay, now if you try to run the test, so it'll run on browser stack. Okay, again guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now so that I pass for some time. If you have doubts, please ask me now. Any doubts? You can understand all these things, right?
Yes.
Good. So basically the test got passed. Again, you can also go to the browser stack to check that. So maybe the video is not yet ready. So it'll be So if you notice, it is trying to fetch all the text from here. Okay, it fetched all the text, it compared that and then clicked on the element, particular element. Okay, so this is what we are doing. So let's try to run the test and see. Okay, it clicked on the animation. So basically you can handle like this. So guys, why I am using Page Factory? Because if you want to use both Android as well as iOS locators, if you use a string type, you have to use two different locators and then you need to handle them separately. But in case of using a Page Factory, you have the capability to combine them in a one particular locator, and that's the only reason I'm going for Page Factory. And more importantly, in native apps, we will never face a stale element reference exception in Appium. Okay, in Selenium, that's not the case. If your application is built on Angular, React, or Material UI, you would normally face this tail element reference exception. Though there are ways to handle it, it's better we avoid that and try to leverage the dynamic locator strategy to achieve this. Again, you can also take this knowledge to your Selenium code and then you can use it. Okay, good. So this is what I want to cover for today. But if you notice, we are using a click method and other stuff from here. Rather, if you want to do this same kind of operation, let's say the click a menu item is the same operation, in my views landing page as well. Here also, I'm doing all these things and finding all the stuff. Okay, maybe I will use it everywhere, so I can create a base page and now I can feed all these reusable methods there, and then we will try to use it whenever we require them. Okay, maybe we go here, create a new class, and let's name it as base page or page, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, so I'm creating something called as base page. And more importantly, if you have a base page, if you're using page factories, you can move this to the base page as well. That is also possible. But yeah, but for now, let's keep it as like this because we are not using a page factory here. Okay, good. So let's try to create a lot of reusable methods that we can use it. Okay, so let me use protected because I just want to access it from my child pages. Okay, protected void click. Okay, if someone is passing me a mobile element, okay, elements. Okay, I also need a string element name, maybe for logging them into the reports. Okay, if someone is feeding me this, then what I will do, I'll do element dot click. Okay, and then I'll also, for now, element name is click. I can create some methods like this. Okay, and then what else we can do? So suppose somebody is passing me click, but passing me a byte locator. Okay, string element name. Okay, okay. So if somebody is passing me this, then what I have to do? I have to do driver manager. Okay, dot get driver. Okay, dot find elements, and I'll pass this by. Again, I can do the click here, but I don't want to repeat the same lines of code again. So let me call the another method from here. Okay. What is chilling? Okay. So guys, if you notice, this driver manager dot get driver is giving us a web elements. Okay. So that's the reason it is throwing us an error. Okay. So maybe you can cast this to mobile element. Okay. So very simple way to do. Yeah, because we are only speaking about Android and iOS, so they all comes under web mobile element. Okay, either you can go to your okay driver factory, and here you can instead of web driver you can cast them to mobile driver. Okay, but for now we are doing it like this. Okay, that's okay, because if you want to work with a mobile Chrome browser, in those cases you may need a web element. Okay, not the mobile element. Okay, so that's the reason I have used web driver there. Otherwise you can use Appium driver and then you can use the corresponding generics. Okay, but for now our framework, I want that to handle Android, iOS, and mobile Chrome. Okay, so this basically uses web element. Okay, This uses iOS element. Okay. Okay. Android uses Android element. The parent of Android and iOS is mobile element. And for mobile element, the parent element is your web element. Okay. So that's how the hierarchy is. You need to understand the hierarchy and then you need to operate based on that. Again, if you also notice, we have a click a menu item that basically uses a string, right? You basically use a string. So we might also need to create another overload method. Let's say protected void click. And if someone is passing me a string locator type, okay, maybe whether it is XPath or whatever it is, okay, and then string value of that and string element name. So if we are trying to overload the same method so that we can use it in different pages, right? So we can write some conditions here. If locator type dot equals ignore case XPath, okay. Then what I want to do, I want to basically call by dot XPath. What is the value that we have passed and comma element name. Okay. Good. That's it. So now we have wrapped this and calling this particular thing, right? So that we are reusing the same code that we have written. Okay. So this basically calls this click method. This click method basically calls this click method, so that we don't have to write the this sysout statement everywhere, right? So that's the pretty good advantage. Okay, if you are not trying to reuse your code, then it's considered as a software crime. Okay, so please always try to do little bit of these kind of reusing. Okay, always inheritance is not the solution. You have other reusability solutions. Please try to explore all of them. Okay, so we also have other locator strategies, maybe equals ignore case. If someone is telling me that is an ID, then what I want to do, I want to use click. I just have to find the by locator for that, right? So by.id, and then I need to pass the value. Okay, the same way you can create for all of them, but for time being I'm not doing it. And then maybe you can create a locator factory and then use Java 8 concepts to get them back. But yeah, for now I'm not doing all the different types, because we have basically used XPath and ID so far. If you want, please extend this if conditions more. Okay, at the later point of time we will try to optimize using Java 8. Okay, same code we will try to use optimize using Java 8. Okay, they will do that. Okay, now let's go to the home page, and we, instead of directly clicking it, okay, we call the click method. Okay, click method is available in the base page, so extends your base page. Okay, and then here you can just click. So now the views and the element name is views as well. Okay, so basically we are trying to create a wrapper method and then ask it to do all the operation for us. Okay, again, if you notice, this is a kind of thing that we are normally using, right? So let's try to create a reusable method for this. That takes in a protected void choose item and click, something like this. Okay, that takes in a list of mobile elements, a list. Okay, let's try to import this. Okay, now here you can wrap all this operation. Okay, control X. Go to the base page, paste it here. Instead of this, you can okay. And I also want the string, okay, that's it. So you can wrap them in different lines so that it's more readable. Okay, good. Or see, if I use the click click with this, then what happens? It does not do the logging for us. So maybe if you also want to do the logging, okay, then you can leverage this. You can cut this short and then use get. Okay, this basically returns you the web element. Okay, so what I can do, I can call, I have a method that is click. I can pass this mobile element to that, and the string name is also okay. I can use some. Okay, so I am trying to leverage the same code that we have written earlier. Okay, so that's easy. How easy it is. Okay, good. So now I go to my home page, and instead of that, I have created some methods. Let's say choose item and click. So choose item and click. I pass the list of mobile element, that is menu items, comma, menu. Okay. So I can try to leverage the same code. Good. So now we are using wrappers everywhere. We are replacing the wrappers. Okay. Here we don't have to, click on it directly. So we have an XPath and we want to click on that. So we call click method. Okay. So I have to basically extend the base page. Okay. And click. So if you notice, I want to click on it. So it has a lot of options, right click. But we want to use this particular option, string, where I can tell the locating strategy is XPath. The value is new XPath that we have found now. And the name of this is drag and drop. This is for logging. Okay, that's it, guys. So it will go here, it will check, okay, and then it will find, it will call this particular one, and this particular method will call this. So basically we are we have created a lot of wrappers now, so that you don't have to worry about clicking all the stuff. Okay, that's it, guys. So you can do the same kind of wrapping even in your Selenium framework. Okay, all you need to do is overload your string click method. If someone is asking in an interview where you have used method overloading, then you can point them here, right? So I have used method overloading here. And yeah, that's pretty much we want to achieve here. And apart from that, what I want to cover. Okay, we also have a lot of gestures, right? So we have already created all those gestures during our Appium practice. So let me copy all of them and put them here. Okay, let's take this code, okay, and then put it in the mobile automation framework. So mostly these things, I need to change them to be protected because I need to access them. It has some errors. We will try to solve them. That's okay. I don't want this to be public. Okay, protect. If you notice, we are using driver manager dot get driver, which is basically giving us the driver. So what I can do, I can basically use driver manager dot get driver. Okay. So if you are trying to use this in Android touch action, okay, we need to pass an Android driver. So if I do just this, it will throw error. So in those cases, you can cast that to perform touch actions. So perform touch actions is your interface, guys. So that's a super interface for your Android touch action and iOS touch action. Okay. So I'm just casting my driver to that, so that it will work. Okay, that's it. So guys, please learn about casting, upcasting, downcasting, and all other stuff. Okay, so here is the same thing. Okay, if you use a driver manager dot get driver, so it takes in you have to cast this to a perform touch actions. Okay, then it will work. Maybe I'll copy this because we are going to use this everywhere. Okay, that's it. So if you want to perform tapping, you can also use tap method and pause the Android element, or and for that, and then use it. Okay. So here we haven't this is more specific for your Android. Okay, if you want to create for iOS, you need to create one more tap method and then give for iOS element of use. Again, don't create all of them in a base page itself. If you are using iOS, maybe create one more hierarchy, like you know uh, you can create one more class like iOS base page, okay, something like that, and then Android base page, and then you can extend them to the common base page. Okay, but now we are not going to do that because for time being, okay, we don't want to do that. So, and then you can create the tab using coordinates, all these things as a abstract method. In the child pages, you can provide their implementations. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Now we have all of these with us. We can try to do a lot of things, maybe you can explore it, but I'm going to cover more on the framework point of view. And what I'm going to do, so previously I have told about there is something called as facade pattern. Okay, we can also use that. Okay, so this is the code that we have written, right? So again, guys, this might not be very noisy or verbose, having a lot of verbosity, but imagine in your Selenium test cases, what you normally do, we will tell okay, login page dot click or enter username. Okay, enter username, dot enter password. Okay, enter password, and then click login. Okay, click login, and then click on menu, something, some big steps. Okay, these are all unnecessary, right? As a end user, I want to read the steps. Okay, and the time I'm not interested in all this information, because see, um, log into the application. If you even write the test case, right, you won't tell enter username, enter password, click on this click button. No, all those things we won't mention. We'll just tell, okay, log into the application, okay, add the product to the cart, then you do the checkout, complete the you know complete the journey, something like that, right? So suppose, let's say you want to place some orders in Amazon. Okay, let's go, and I want to give a good understanding, because first aid is very important. You can plug and play this everywhere. Okay, so what you can do, basically, suppose I want to order some laptops. Okay, so what is the user journey? So open this URL. Okay, click on this hamburger, and then click on mobiles and computers, and there will be options for laptops. Choose that. Okay, you are creating each method like this, but as a end user, I'm not interested in all these things. Okay, maybe I'm choosing this. Okay, you're basically writing each method for that, right? So as a end user, I'm not interested in all these things. Okay, navigate navigate to the laptop page, and then add the product to cart, do the payment, and then complete the journey. So this is the method that I am interested. Okay, I'm not interested how many elements you are clicking. Okay, then you are clicking sort using high to low. I don't want all this information, right? I want my test cases to be more readable. So what we can do, we can create a wrapper between this code and the test code. Okay, let's try to write some drawings. Okay, so previously we have only two layers. Okay, one is your like this. Okay, this is your test layer, and this is your page layer. Now I'm going to create one more layer, that's facade layer. Okay, okay, so what this facade layer will help us. Okay, let's assume that you have uh, enter username, enter password. Okay, and then click login. Okay, now what I can do, I can create a wrapper for these three methods here. Okay, this facade layer, let's call it as login facade. Okay, let's name this class as login facade, and let's create a method called as login. Okay, that method basically has a call to your enter password. Okay, enter username, and then enter password, and then click login. Okay, so this is the thing that I'm trying to do. Again, guys, you can create the login, this particular login method here itself, but I don't want to even touch my page class. If there are any changes, I don't want to touch my page class. Rather, I want to touch my facade layer. It's only. So I will not touch my test class. I will not touch my page class. All I am interested in is changing my facade layer. So this way, you keep a lot of things as constant, and the variables becomes very less, so you can do a lot of good maintenance for your framework. Okay, so this is what we are trying to achieve. Again, guys, you might think, still you might not be agreeing why I can simply create a login method in this particular way, in this particular thing itself. Okay, then imagine that you have a page that you want to interact with two pages. Okay, you have something called as login page, you have something called as home page. Okay, maybe let's take an example from here itself. So this is your hamburger menu page, and this is your laptop page. So you want to create a method that's common, like add the laptop to cart. That's the method you want to do. How will you achieve that? This add, let's assume, so add laptop to cart. This is a method that you want to do. For that, you want to interact with two different pages. Okay, this has to be interacted with two different pages. So you cannot keep it in this page because that this method does not belongs here. You cannot keep it in this page. This method does not belongs here. You cannot create a new page because that page doesn't even exist. So what you can do, that's when this facade layer comes in picture. In those cases, what you can do, you can create a facade that is called as, okay, a hamburger laptop facade. Say, okay, and then you can keep a method called as add a laptop to cart. This method internally has the code, okay, to hamburger menu page. Okay, all those intricacy method, hamburger menu page dot clicking on the clicking on the menu bar. Okay, click on menu bar, all those things, all the methods will be here. Okay, then click on all those stuff. Okay, click on laptop, click on high to price, low to price, all those stuff. Okay, and then click on add to cart. Until here you can wrap around this, and then in your test layer the code looks much clean. Just add laptop to cart, do the payment, complete the journey. That's it. Your test is more readable now. And then if there is any changes, you come and do it in the facade layer. You don't touch your page layers. So normally when you are touching the page layers, we never know what and all tests are interacting with them. We try to create a common one, and then it fails miserably. So this becomes very handy if you want to create a very big framework, and your framework is having a lot of pages, and you want to do the maintenance. Okay, so that's when this comes in very handy, guys. Okay, do I make any sense all this time?
Yes.
Okay, you guys can understand, right? So here also, if you notice, this is little noisy, not very big noisy here, but still this is noisy. I could have write it in a better way. That's what we are going to do. So we are interacting with home page as well as views landing page. So this click a menu item is present on views landing page. So what I can do, I can create, okay, a facade package. Okay, facade package. The first one that I'm going to do is drag drop facade. Okay, I'm creating a new class. Okay, let's drag drop facade. And what this going to do, I have a method called as, let's assume of void for now, navigate to drag and drop page. So this method has all the information. Okay, now what I can do, I can use the same code, the new home page dot click on views. On clicking on views, I want to click a menu item, and that menu item is drag and drop. Okay, that's it. So now you just need to call this from your test class. Okay, it does all the hard work for you. Okay, now let's go to the tab test, and instead of writing like this, so you now how to create a new facade, drag drop facade. Okay, dot navigate to drag and drop page. Okay, now we have navigated to drag and drop page. What do you want to do? I don't have a page like that for now, so let's create a drag and drop page. Okay, this basically extends your my base page. Okay, and if I go to my views landing page, okay, it's clicking on this, click on an item. It's okay. So now I want to do the drag and drop on that. So let's AVD manager. So let's try to inspect that item. Okay. So let me also open my Appium sessions. I forgot the locator ID. I might have stored it somewhere. Let's check. I'm trying to perform the drag and drop, guys. So for that, I might need dump. No, this is not the dump that I was looking for. No, it's not here. So where is this? So let's wait for the Appium to come, or maybe I can use UI. So basically it is working. So let's go to views, drag and drop. Okay, let's try to click on this. I don't know, this emulator is coming like this all the time. So let's try to copy this. So this is the resource ID, guys. Okay, let's copy it and go to the mobile automation framework. Can use Android find by. Okay, find by accessibility ID. Okay, so this is the two elements that I want to perform action, and once I complete that, I want to verify a text. There will be a text here. Bond background. I don't know. It's not getting displayed properly. Try to do the. Okay, there is a text now. Let's try to inspect this again. Okay, so this is the text. I want to verify this text. Okay. Okay, so basically you can write like this and you can write a code here. Okay, just made this. So let me create a method that's public void drag and perform drag drop. Drag and drop. Okay. So here I have already a base page that has drag and drop method. Okay, you pass the source to it and the target to it. Okay, the source is .1 here, and then .2 is my target. Maybe we can extend this to pass the capabilities. Maybe, or I can simply write new logs. Maybe yes. For now, yes out. I'm doing an S out that uh, drag and drop is success. Okay, that's it. So yeah, if you want to even pass more information, you can also do that. But for now, let's keep it very simple. And yeah, that's it. After that, I want to validate. So public string get text, get success text, maybe success message is more meaningful. Okay, and here what I can do, I can create a new. mm, let's go to the base page and create so protected string get text. So if someone is passing me a mobile element, what I'm going to do, I'm going to return them element dot get text. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so now get text and then label dropped. Okay, and then I'm going to return this to whoever calling me. Most importantly, this will be my drag and drop facade. Okay, so what I can also do, okay, let's try to go to the test class. Now I want to call this. Okay, this is returning me on void. So what I have to do, I have to create a new instance of drag and drop page. Okay, dot perform drag and drop, and I want to get the success message. Maybe I go here, and after that I will return this so that it's return me drag and drop page. I can do the method chaining here and get the success message. So once I get the success message, let me store it in a string, and then I use an assertion library from assert.j. I don't know whether I have imported that already, but let's check my pom.xml whether assert.j core is added. So maybe I can start writing my code. Let's name it as assertions dot assert that. Okay, I want to assert the success message dot is equal to what it should be equal to dropped. Okay, this is my assertion. Okay, then I can do a static import of this. Okay, and then it becomes more readable. Okay, that's it, guys. Your test has now just 2 lines of I'm navigating to the drag and drop page, and I'm performing the drag and drop, getting the success message, storing that in a local variable. Again, it's not needed if you have to store it in a local variable, but still it's a good practice to make your test more readable rather than writing everything inside another method. Okay, so it's more readable now. Let's try to, maybe this is not a tap test, this is basically a drag and drop test, but that's okay for now. Okay, let's try to run the test and then see what's happening. So it's running on my browser stack. So I can go to the browser stack. Yeah, it's running. Which it'll be available in some time. Okay, views is clicked successfully. There was some failure. Drag and drop is clicked successfully. Okay, after that it didn't perform anything. So okay, maybe it didn't perform the drag and drop. Okay, let's go and check the logs. Okay, it didn't do anything. So okay, drag and drop. Okay, this is done. Then it comes here. It creates a new instance for drag and drop page. I'm trying to perform drag and drop on these 2 elements, dot 1, dot 2. Null pointer exception that is happening. Okay, guys. So this is the biggest mistake that I've done is basically I need to use constructor here. That's like drag and drop page. Okay, so someone is calling this. I need to do the page factory dot in elements new Appium field decorator. Come on, driver manager dot get driver. Come on, this. Okay, we need to initialize the page factories. Again, this is the biggest problem with page factories, right? But yeah, but for now, let's okay and let's try to run the test again. If there is a failure, please try to, understand what is the failure and try to resolve that. That's okay. Okay. Again, we'll also try to do the chaining of these as well. Okay. Since this is one line, this is one line, there is no chaining. Again, it's not mandatory to do the chaining, but yeah, if you can do the chaining, it's more readable. Okay. So we'll try to do that in the next step. Okay. Anyway, this will work. Let's go here. If you notice, this is returning me a void. Okay. Again, I cannot make this to return a specific type because sometime, this can return me something. Okay. All those stuff. Okay. Maybe you can directly. Okay. Just. Okay. So there is a assertion failure, guys. That's okay because this is dropped and then dropped and colon. Yeah. This percentage symbol. Sorry. The exclamatory mark. Good. So if I want to do chaining, either I can return a drag and drop here, drag and drop page. So maybe I can return new drag and drop page at the end of this. That's what I'm doing. So click the menu item. This is why. Drag and drop. Facade. Navigate to drag and drop page. Okay, it should return me. Okay, so this click a menu item is basically a common method. Okay, it doesn't know which one to click. Okay, so what we can rather do is, why you are still throwing an error? I don't want you to throw an error. You return a void, no problem. What I can do, I can create one more method here. Let's take it, that method as public void get drag and drop page. This is for method chaining, guys. If you don't understand this, that's okay. You can write it in 2 different lines. That does not gonna cost you much. Okay, but if there is some better way, we'll try to do it. Okay, return new drag and drop. Sorry, drag and drop page. Okay. Now I'll return this. Okay. Now in my code, in the tab test, okay, what I can do after this, I can type navigate to drag and drop page, and here I can basically return this. This basically returns me a drag and drop page. Drag and drop facade. Sorry, drag drop facade. Okay. No. Why it is still throwing error? Whatever. So now I can get a drag and drop page from here. So you don't have to write this. Okay. So this is not needed. Okay. You can cut this. You can paste it here. Okay. This is your string message, right? Copy it, paste it here. So how's the test is looking now? Okay, it's more readable, right? So I am basically creating a facade object, navigating to the drag and drop page. And there is no way that it can return me a drag and drop page. So what I have done, I have created a new getter method, okay, to get the drag and drop page, so that I don't have to stop my chaining. I can continue to write a fluent way of writing my test, get the drag and drop page, perform the drag and drop, and then get the success message. Once I get the success message, I'm doing the session, right? This is now more readable and more effective, right? So writing a more clean test is very, very important. And that's what we are trying to achieve. Okay. Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. In the meantime, while the test is running. Any doubts from anyone? So the facade layer acts like, an intermediate layer between your test and your page layer. Suppose if there is any changes, that we normally do it in the facade layer and not in any of those layers. Okay, that's a very important thing. Suppose if there is any change required, we'll do it here. Okay, we'll not do in your page layers. Okay, your page layers and test layers becomes very clean. Okay, that's very important. Okay, if you want,
Hello?
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Amutan, am I audible, right?
Yeah, you are audible, loud and clear.
Okay. Amutan, just I have a question.
Mm.
Why haven't we added any weights for before clicking or before doing any actions?
Yeah, because this is a native app and it's a very lightweight app, so we
Mhm,
haven't done that. So now we want to add some weights. Okay,
mhm.
then in those cases you can directly go to the base page. Okay, since we are using wrappers for most of them, so almost all of them, is using this method. So basically you can do the explicit weight. I can create one more method that's explicit weight. That's weight for the mobile element. So I'm just passing this. Okay, and then let's create a method explicit weight. Okay, basically you can do the new web driver weight, driver manager dot get driver, come on, maybe 5 seconds. Okay, and dot with message. If there is a failure, you fail with this message. Okay, again you can skip this step if you don't interested. Cannot some problems while finding element. Okay, if you want to override the default message, finding the element. Okay, and then you can also change the polling every. Okay, you want to poll every 1 second instead of every 500 milliseconds, you can do that. So let's take poll every time unit dot seconds. Okay, so you can do, okay, maybe this is deprecated, so we don't have to use this. So let's take a polling every duration. Okay, duration dot of seconds. I want to poll every 1 second. What else we want to do? We want to wait until expected conditions that visibility or visibility of element. Want to do that? This is your waiting, right? You can also, if you're comfortable, you can use like this, or you can also use a lambda way of writing things. E dot find elements, maybe, or you can just tell element dot is display. Okay, something like this. Okay, anything, whatever you feel comfortable, you can use that. But maybe I'll go back to the original state like this, and then you can use like this. Okay, so yeah, you can add explicit weight if you see some failure, but mostly the native apps will not take time to load, and your Appium is designed in such a way it can handle those things. Okay, so I personally in most of the native apps I never used explicit weights. So if you want, you can provide a wrapper around this like this, and then you can try to use it wherever you want. Okay, which anything from anyone else?
Hi, Amutan.
Yeah.
So, Amutan, in page layer, we'll put loggers or we can put sysout.
We have to use loggers. I have not yet started about logging. So basically, we are not using any log4j and all. We will only use extend reports, and we'll try to log all the information. We'll remove the sout statements, and then we will make them as a logging to extend reports. Okay, we will not use
Yeah,
any log4j because, see guys, I personally feel log4j is not needed for a test automation framework. Okay, other people can have other thoughts. Most importantly, implementing a log4j will make your code very clumsy. Okay, you have to write all the information in between the snippets. Okay, You have to write logger info dot all those things. Okay, basically we will never use those to debug our code. Okay, I have never used log4j, but I can able to debug with my external reports or my console logs, right? Why you need a log4j unnecessarily? We are not using it, guys. In a development application, okay, you need a logs so that you can, if there is a failure in production, you can go ahead and see it. Or if you want to use those information, use those logs information, what you can do, you can send it to Splunk, Dynatrace, you can send it to Elasticsearch, Logstash. Okay, you can send those information to those kind of tools, and then you can visualize them. If there is any problem, you can proactively find them. Okay, in our case, we don't have to proactively find any information, so I don't see any reasons to include log4j. Most of the framework, you need to think, okay, you need to think from your heart. Have you actually used log4j to debug a particular issue in your test automation framework? If yes, then you can implement it. But I never used a log4j for debugging my issue. It will create a text file that rather clutter my local drive, and I have to write some code to delete them, or I have to manually delete them. Again, I need to, if I have to push my code, I need to ignore it. Okay, all those things are added task for me, so I never use a log4j logging. Okay, if you want, you can use it in your test automation framework, but I would never do that.
Yeah,
But
Amutan, if we'll implement that one, where we'll implement in the page level, right?
we will see that. We'll see that tomorrow. So
Okay.
we'll try to convert this into a external logger, and then we'll try to do it. Okay, who is asking this question?
Shiva, Amutan.
Okay, Shiva. Okay, Shiva. So we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll do that. We have enough time to learn about the reports and how does things works. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow, and then day after tomorrow we'll speak about the data provider, how we can run the same test with multiple set of test data. We'll do a little bit of tweaking to the existing framework, but predominantly we have covered almost touch based on all the topics. Okay, we have created reusable method. If you want to do the scroll and kick, maybe in the click method, you can call this scroll and click. Okay, because we have to scroll to the specific element and then we need to click on it. So in those cases, you can call the scroll to specific element and then click on it. Okay, you can create some wrappers, and if you have the intention to scroll, then you need to scroll and then click. Okay, but basically all these things is enough for us to work on any mobile app. Okay, we can work on any mobile app with these set of reusable wrappers. Okay, but understand certain intricate concepts like we learned about facade layer. Okay, we can also use this facade layer in different places. Okay, when you are trying to work with an external library, like you are using some faker library to generate some random data. In those cases, I see people directly writing the code. Let's take an example. This is your test. Okay, this is your test case. I want to generate some random text, something like that. Then what people do, they'll add new faker. Okay, I want to generate a new person name. So they will call person dot name. There will be something name. Okay, then they will directly use this in the code. This is completely wrong, guys. Okay, you cannot do this. Okay, because this is an external library. What tomorrow, instead of person, they change it to persons. Okay, where will you change it? You have 1,000 tests. You have to go and change in 1,000 places the method name. So that is completely wrong. In those cases, what you can do, you can create a faker. Okay, you can create something called as faker facade. Okay, faker facade, and there you can create a method, get a random name. Okay, get random name, and there you can write the logic. Okay, there you can write the logic of maybe I can have another class called faker utils dot get random string, something like that, and then I can use this. Okay, I can basically call that from here, and then I can use it. So if there is a change, I only have to go and change the faker facade. okay, not this test class. So this way we are trying to avoid the changes that is happening to our test classes and the page classes. That's a pretty good advantage of using a facade. Facade can also be used between, if you have an SQL, you are reading a lot of data from your SQL, you can use a facade layer in between your SQL and your test layers or your page layers where you're calling, so that you don't have to change your page layers or your SQL code. Rather, you change the facade layer every time if there is a change or if you need to change something. Okay, so in this way, you are not touching your test cases, right? That's why I see a lot of people are often unaware of all these techniques. Okay, this is a simple techniques. Okay, you don't have to name it as a facade. Rather, you create a layer between your faker utils and your test layer. It basically there is a pattern for that, so we are calling it as facade. But if you don't know about facade, but basically you create a layer so that you can, if there is some changes, you change here, not here. Okay, because changing in 1,000 places is very difficult than changing in one place, right? So that's when these kind of design patterns comes in handy, guys. These are been proven techniques, okay, for a similar kind of issues. Okay, we'll try to leverage a lot of these. Okay, maybe I'm just giving you an idea how to use that, but it's up to you, and how to explore and learn more. Okay, good. Anything from anyone else?
Amitan, could you just summarize the facade implementation that we just did?
Okay, you want me to summarize? Okay, very simple. Okay, previously there was a page layer and there was test layer. Okay, correct? There was only two layers, right? So if there is some change, okay, then where will you do the change? Either you do the change here in the test layer, or you do the change in the page layer, correct?
Right.
Yeah, but hereafter, if there is any change, we don't normally do it in the page layer or the test layer. We only do it in the facade layer. That's what I'm telling. So if I go to the drag and drop facade, okay, if I have to create one more thing that navigates to different page, then what I do, I create one more method in my facade only, not in my page layers. My page layers remains clean. Okay, this click on views remains clean. This click on menu item remains clean. No, that's why the changes will only happen in the facade. Okay, you start to use them. Okay, then only you will understand them more clearly. Okay, so please try to use them. Okay, I can give some examples. Okay, I will cover this in my Selenium automation framework playlist in YouTube. So in those cases, maybe I'll give you a lot of explanation. But okay, since you have asked, let's try to do it. If it takes a little bit of time, that's okay. Faker Java Maven. Okay, I'll get a Faker Maven dependency. Okay, let's copy this and come to our form.xml. Okay, on this. Let's try to do this. Okay. Okay, I want to generate some random string now. Okay, what people will do, they'll use new faker. Okay, I think this didn't get downloaded, is it? Okay, it got downloaded. So guys, I'll import this class. Okay, now I want a random address, okay, or something like that. Okay, address start building number. Okay, they will directly use this in a code. Tomorrow, what happens? Okay, this guys comes and introduce a new method in between. This is an external library, right? So tomorrow, this guys comes and change this to street. So you need to use something like this, then only it will work. They have changed this implementation. Now what you will do? You have used this code in 100 of your test cases. Then what you will do? I want your answer.
Yeah, so we would be wanting to change it everywhere wherever we have written.
Okay, if we have something, an external class that can do this purpose, let's take, I create one more. Okay, fake of a say. Okay, now what I'm going to do, if someone is asking me public, like void get. So this basically introduce a business layer in between your pages and tests. Okay, get building numbers. So if they want a building number, they call me. Okay, they don't really bother about how I am generating this. Okay, I take this, okay, information, I put it here. Okay, for now, yeah, let's be like this. Okay, tomorrow if there is a change, what I will do, I'll only change it here. Okay, can you understand? So this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you introduce a new layer so that all the changes, this layer is basically for your business purpose. Okay, this business logic, all those stuff will be wrapped here. Okay, and call it as a business layer basically. Okay, so now if there is a change, I come and change here, not here. Okay, if I use it here, I don't have to change. Okay, let's take fake facade dot get building number. This remains the same. Okay, I don't have to change it. I have to change it here, right? Can you understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yeah. So this is why facade pattern is really cool. Okay, it, guys, forget about the pattern. At the end of the day, we want to create a more readable test, which is more easy to maintain. Okay, if there is a new change, it should be easy to add, and that's how we have developed our test. If there is a new change, we can accommodate anything without any issues. That's how you have to see your test cases. Okay, good. If there are no more doubts, we'll wrap the session today, and we will continue tomorrow with the external reports, and we'll also have data provider and a little bit of tweaking. We'll do that. Any more doubts? Okay.
Amutan, are we covering Appium CLI tomorrow only, or
no, we'll cover at the end. That's the last one. Okay, you remember me, that's a very easy thing. That's the last thing that we need to do. Okay, good guys. Okay, you all have a very good day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.